In this video, we're going to show you how to replace an AC compressor kit on your GMC K1500. This will be located in the engine bay, in the front and the rear, and we'll have to go down to the condenser in the front. Let's get started. Before beginning this job, bring your car down to the local shop and have them evacuate the AC system. Using a 16mm wrench, get on the auto adjuster, pull the tension off, and remove the belt. We're only going to pull it off our AC compressor and leave it routed along the rest. Remove the 14mm nut that's holding this cooling line. Remove the nut. Twist the clamp up and off of the stud. Remove the connector for the AC compressor. There's a tab right here. Push on that tab, pull straight up. There's one more in the front. Push on either side, pull straight up. Remove the connector. Using a 15mm socket, remove the bolt for the AC hoses. Remove the bolt. Pull the hoses out of the back. Using a 14mm wrench on the front left bottom bolt, and use a 14mm socket on the rear. Remove the nut. Using a 14mm wrench on the back nut, we're going to break it free. Once the bolt's out far enough that you can get a wrench on it, go ahead and remove the bolt. Remove the nut off the back side of the bolt. We have one more that is right under the compressor. Remove the nut off of the bolt. We're going to remove all 3 bolts. We're going to have to slightly pry these up to the side. Do the same thing on that bottom one. Remove the bottom bolt, pull the line to the back. We're going to use a pry bar and we're going to go on either side of the compressor and start to lift it up and out. Get the compressor free and lift it up and out of place. Using a pair of pliers, try to work out the sensor. Ours is stuck, so we're going to be replacing the sensor. We're going to remove the sticker. On the right side here, you can see this QR code. That is going to tell you how much oil you're going to add to your compressor. Using a 16mm wrench or socket, go ahead and remove the bolt. That air escaping is the vacuum that they put this in for shipping. remove the plug. We're going to add our recommended amount of oil. It's a good idea to measure this out using a measurable syringe, or you could even use a medicine cup. While you're adding oil, you may have to turn the compressor. When you turn it, be sure that you turn the whole thing with the clutch. If you need to twist the compressor, be sure that you're holding the clutch when you do it. And you can hear in the back there our oil getting sucked in. Now that we've added our oil, we're going to put our plug back in so we don't get any dirt in it on installation. We'll re-remove it right before we put the lines on. We're going to tap the compressor down into place. Make sure this top right stud is the longest one. Get it through. Get the nut started on the back side. And thread the bolt into that. And then when you thread this in, be sure that the bolt is going through this back bracket. Get the other two nuts started on the back. Got that bottom one in. Go around and snug all of the nuts down. All of these bolts are going to have a flat spot on them. When you tighten these down, you want to make sure that flat spot is against one of the embossments on the bracket. This is going to hold the bolt so it doesn't spin. When tightening down all of these bolts, there's a flat spot on the head, and this is going to correspond to an embossment on the bracket. And then that bolt's going to get held so we can just worry about the nuts. Get all the nuts and bolts nice and tight. Install the bracket onto the bracket. Install the nut. Snug the nut down. Using a pair of snap ring pliers on the back of the compressor, we're going to remove the snap ring. Remove the snap ring. Using a pair of pliers, we're going to remove the dummy plug. We're going to remove the O-ring that's inside of there. Use a right angle pick. Pull it out. And install our new O-ring. Be sure you have a nice clean finger or glove. Get it seated. Install the sensor. Push it down into place. I'm going to drop the new snap ring over it. Get it set into place. Install the connector. Be sure it's fully clicked on. Give it a pull. Make sure it's locked. I'm going to install the gaskets onto our AC lines. Be sure that the old ones are removed. Our old ones stayed with our other compressor. We're going to remove the bolt for that plug. Install the lines, push them straight in, install the bolt, get it started by hand. Snug the bolt down. Install the clutch connector, push it down into place. Be sure it's fully locked in. You can give it a pull. Pull on the tensioner pulley, get the belt installed. Be sure that your belt is fully installed on all of your pulleys. Make sure it's riding in the grooves and on the flat spots where it should. Disconnect the sensor off of the receiver dryer, push on the tab, pull it off. We're going to remove our foam from the top. I'm going to use one adjustable to hold the receiver dryer while we use the other to break the fitting free. Pull the fitting back. Do the same thing on the back side. We're going to remove this plastic stay. We're going to push the bottom half out. You can remove the clamp and the foam. Pull the line out of the front. Behind the AC dryer, we're going to have a 10mm bolt for the clamp. We're going to loosen this bolt. Don't fully remove it. We're going to get it loose enough that we can work our AC dryer out. Remove the old AC dryer. We're going to remove the receiver dryer sensor from the old one to the new one. Going to use our adjustable, break the sensor free, spin it out, remove the cap. We have a pre-installed O-ring for this sensor, so we can just spin the sensor right on. We're going to get this snug. It wasn't very tight on the old one. We're going to remove the O-rings off of the lines going to our AC dryer. Remove them off of both sides. And there was a bag that was taped to our AC dryer that had 2 O-rings in it. We're going to be using those. Install them onto the pipes. Remove the caps on either side of our receiver dryer. Install the receiver dryer into the bracket. Get the rear fitting started first. Leave it slightly loose for now. Gonna get our front line installed. Install the front line. Get that fitting started. Snug down the clamp in the back. Get the clamp nice and tight. Install the foam onto the bottom. We're going to get our clamp around. Install the top foam. This is going to set into our lower foam. Once you have the foam pieces overlapped, we're going to push our clamp together. And clamp it down nice and tight. Install the connector. Push until you hear a click. If you don't hear a click, give it a pull, make sure it's locked on. We're going to get our fittings nice and tight on the front and back of our receiver dryer. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, remove the 4 screws for the lower light. Pull the fixture straight out. We're going to remove the 2 bulbs out of the back To do this, we're going to push on this tab and twist. And repeat this same process on the other side. Remove the bulb socket from the reflector, twist it, pull it straight back, and remove it. Do that same thing on the other side. Remove the 4 7mm screws on the top of the grill. There's one more 7mm bolt in the top center of the grill. Go ahead and remove that. Going behind the light fixture we took out, there's going to be these tabs for the bumper. These are going to be located on both sides. We're going to pull up on that tab and pull the bumper forward. That tab will unlock the front grille from it. Looking straight down below the engine latch, you're going to find one more black plastic clip that you need to remove. We're just going to pick up on that and then pull the grill forward. Remove the grill. Using adjustable wrench, we're going to remove the bottom fitting for the condenser. Inside of this tube, we're going to have an orifice tube. Pull the fitting back, and we're going to pull the line up and out. Using a pair of pliers, we're going to reach down inside of that tube and we're going to remove the orifice tube. Install the new orifice tube. Push it down into place. We're going to swap out the O-ring on this line. Go ahead and remove the old one. You're going to get a bag of assorted O-rings. Search through that and find one that lines up. Install the new O-ring. Put the line back into the condenser. Pull the fitting down and snug it up. Install the grill, being sure to line up those tabs. Get the grill clicked into place. Install the screws for the grill. Install the screw for the middle of the grill. Install the bulb for the reflector. Install it, turn it, lock it in place. Do the same thing on the other side. Install the bulbs, twist until that tab locks. Install the light. Get all the screws started. Go around and snug them all down. Do the same thing on the other side. Now that we're done with the job, you can take your car down to the local shop and have them recharge the AC system, and you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.